What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. We're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings game. We're going to talk about the fact the Packers had the number one seed locked up with one game to go. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers Tuesday over the Pat McAfee show. Some of the stuff he said, I thought that was interesting, talking about Wisconsin culture and whatnot. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about the stuff, the playoffs. Just stuff going on in the world, not in the world, in the sports world. You know what I mean, Bob? We're going to have some fun, people. So stay tuned. Let's get into this thing. Thank you for tuning in to the Matt Ramage Show, presented by Quick Trip. All right, what's up, everybody? First of all, I want to thank everybody who tuned in to my my game stream I did the other day. For the Packer game, I do game streams every game, unless I'm at the game, except for when I was sick, whatever. But I got me a new scoreboard. As you can see, for people who watch on YouTube and Facebook, I have just like my little logo, whatever screen that is right now. But I have a TV set up over here for a scoreboard during the game. I was pretty excited about it. Maybe bigger than it needs to be. I don't think you need a scoreboard quite that big, but that's what we got, people. You know what I mean? But I want to talk about the Vikings game very briefly, though, because I don't like, Viking fans been coming at me because I talked a little trash. Talked a little bit of trash is kind of what I do. Viking fans, very emotional. I understand you just lost. You just got booted out of the playoffs by your rival, and it hurts. You know what I mean? But you should be used to it. And you shouldn't be surprised. But, Viking fans, like, the whole thing, they're like, well, we didn't have our quarterback. Yeah, tough luck, bro. Like, you lost by 27 points, right? Isn't that what it was? 27 points. I think it was 37-10. I don't know. Math is not my strong suit, people. But you lost by a bunch of points. Kirk Cousins wouldn't put up those points. You were not going to win that game. All right. And it doesn't matter either way. You're not in the playoffs. I mean, if you're that bad, you're under 500. You're making excuses. I see them posting screenshots of holdings and stuff. It's like, bro, you're not that good of a football team. Like, I thought you knew. I didn't know I was the one to break it to you. Like, you're not a good football team. Minnesota Vikings are not a good football team. They're under 500 football team. While the Packers are preparing for the number one seed, deciding whether they want to play the starters next week versus the Detroit Lions over there in Detroit. While the Packers are figuring that out, the Vikings are figuring out who the next coach is going to be. Ain't nobody got fired yet, but it's probably going to happen. Viking fans want to have. That's why I don't understand. Like, you thought it was so close. They act like it was so close. They act like they lost by 3 points. They were celebrating earlier in the season when they beat the Packers, and that was by like 3 points. That was a close game. The Packers beat the hell out of you. Packers stomped you out. The Packers are Quick Trip. The Minnesota Vikings are Speedway. That's what I'm talking about. You're not up to the same level of the Green Bay Packers. Maybe someday you will be. That's all you preach. Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to be gone, and then, but I don't know. Yeah, well, right now, today, Aaron Rodgers is a Green Bay Packer, and the Packers are the number one seed. That's what I'm talking about. I have radio guys from Minnesota coming at me on Twitter, sharing my stuff, and just like acting like, like just as Wisconsin, like I should be ashamed. What I am, baby. If I represent Wisconsin, I'm proud to do it, people. Yeah, I did a little rant and raving during that game. Understand, Viking fans, I wasn't all excited and celebrating because we beat the Minnesota Vikings at home. No, that is not why I was excited, because that should have happened. I knew that was going to happen. I was not surprised. I said it before my little pregame show. I said Packers are going to beat the hell out of them. Of course, I say that a lot. But I said it's going to be a blowout. I mean, obviously, Kirk Cousins was gone. Adam Thielen wasn't there. The Packers should have beat the hell out of them, and they did. I believe the Packers would have won handedly with Kirk Cousins. Probably been a little bit closer, but I'm not sure it would have been. Because the Vikings had no running game. Packers shut it down. And I get you say, well, they didn't have a quarterback or whatever, but the Packers were on. Packers defense was making all their tackles. That is what the Packers need to do to play good defense. That every team needs to do to play good defense. But that's it. What if the Packers are tackling well? Game over, bro. Like I don't care what anybody says. Like, back to my point, I wasn't celebrating because we beat the Minnesota Vikings. I was happy that to beat the Minnesota Vikings to, lock up number one seed because the Cowboys lost and to knock the Vikings out of the playoffs. But I was more happy because the Packers locked on number one seed. That's what it was. We had to go through, beat up the Vikings to do it. The Vikings, dude, you are not like some like great team that it was like a celebration. Like, oh my God, we did it. Like the Vikings act like when they beat the Packers. No, we should have beat the hell out of the Vikings, and we did. Packers beat that ass. All right. And that was supposed to happen. The Viking fans, like, I'm not even going to talk to Viking fans. I'm trying not to the rest of the season because you don't matter. I'm not going to argue with the fan base. But their fans can't, they're not in the playoffs. You don't matter no more, bro. Didn't matter that much before. You basically were out of the playoffs the whole year. Vikings are a trashy, trashy team. Not a good football team. All right. Bears, I don't talk about them that much anymore. You know why? Irrelevant for quite some time now. But yeah, going forward, the talk is, all right, do the Packers play their starters? Matt LaFleur said that he I think he kind of I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't remember the exact. Basically, he said we're going to play to win the game. We're going to play to win the game. I think the plan is to play the starters. Aaron Rodgers has said he wants to play. I think Rodgers might have mentioned on a press conference or Pat McAfee, whatever it was, that Devontae Adams wants to play. I think all these guys want to play. And I see a lot of different reactions on Facebook, especially. That's where I get a lot of my reactions from, a lot of interaction with the peoples over there, you know what I mean? And a lot of people say, don't let them play. Sit them out. They're saying, sit them out, let them get rested. Especially talking about David Bakhtiari, Jair Alexander, possibly, they're talking about maybe they come back for the Detroit Lions game. I'm going to give you my point of view since this is my podcast, this is my show. That's what I do. I think play them. Play everyone who is able to play. Now, if someone's hurt, don't play him. But Aaron Rodgers, definitely, I think he should start. How long he should stay in there is another thing. Dude, 2011, the Packers were 14-1. Going into the last game of the season, everything was locked up. It's sad, dude. It's like 3 weeks if they sit. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he probably could sit and just be just fine. But it's not just Aaron Rodgers. If you sit Aaron Rodgers, you're taking reps away from the wide receivers and like the whole offense. You know what I mean? Because if Aaron Rodgers is in there and everyone else is practicing, like it just takes away from that rhythm, the momentum. Rodgers said today on Pat McAfee, he's a big momentum guy. He believes in momentum. And I'm a huge momentum guy. I think like during the games, I think momentum makes and breaks games. It wins and loses games. Like if you get on a good momentum, defense causes a quick turnover. If the offense is struggling, defense causes a quick turnover. I feel like that can shift the whole momentum, and it could guide you. The offense can just start clicking then because it's all about momentum to me. And the same thing goes for for games. If the Packers don't play any of their starters and they just get lit up by the Detroit Lions, which probably wouldn't happen because I think their backups could probably beat the Lions. They don't even know if Goff is playing, if Tim Boyle is playing. No disrespect to Tim Boyle. I love me some Timmy Boyle. All right. But I don't know what's going on over there. But that's not a good football team over there. Detroit's not a good football team. So the Packers could probably beat them with a lot of backups. They don't have 100 players, so it's not like you can play all backups. Like no one's that. Dude, I think they should play their people. I get the injury thing. Maybe play them a half. Maybe play. I don't care how long you play them. Get the momentum going, get a lead, whatever you want to do, and then pull people out. I think David Bakhtiari, guys like this, you play them if he's able to play. And let me explain why. Because a lot of you on Facebook, I don't think, had a totally opposite opinion. And this is just my opinion, people. Whew, this is just my opinion. You want to get David Bakhtiari some live snaps. In practice, you can't duplicate a person just running, offensive lineman. You got the big dudes running at you. You got to get that real action, real game action. You don't got to play him for the whole game. Give him some reps though, if he's able. Now, if there's any question about injury, let him sit 2 more weeks. I think it'll be great. But the same with Jair. You don't have to play him the whole game if he's able. And LaFleur was saying that he was worried about Jair with the shoulder if he could take tackling and all that. I think that you have to be sure, you have to be careful. I'm not saying no matter what, just play them. But if they're able, get them in there, give them some action, give them some reps. I think that's huge for those guys who haven't played all year. You don't want their first action to be in a playoff game. I don't think. I mean, if it happens, it happens. That's how it has to be. That's how it has to be. But if you can help it, you don't want their first action to be in a playoff game. Like, dudes are going 100 miles an hour. Dudes are going, people fired up. You know what I mean? You don't want to try it out. That I saw people saying that David Bakhtiari should just sit the rest of the year. So like, just leave him out. We could screw up what we got. No. David Bakhtiari is one of the best left tackles in the league, probably, top two. I don't know who you throw up there. If he's able to play, you put him in. He's very good. If David Bakhtiari didn't get hurt last year, the Packers probably win a Super Bowl. That was a big part. David Bakhtiari not being in there. Having David Bakhtiari in there is huge. So if he is able to play that man, especially in the playoffs. The Lions game is a whole different thing. I like I say, I think he should get those reps. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I'm confident in this football team. I'm confident in Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur should definitely be coach of the year. Aaron Rodgers should be MVP. I know I'm the biggest homer on planet Earth. I understand that. I get it, dude. I'm a big homer. Everyone tells me you're a homer. Like, I'm aware. Like, dude, I'm not going to be on here trashing the Packers. No, I don't think the Packers are perfect. That's why I said about the Viking game. But that was good. Great tackling. I think that's what they have to do. You can't have guys catching the ball, then running 10, 15 yards like every single time. Like when they play off, not a big fan of that. Get up in their face, get up on these wide receivers. It irritates me, like when you see these guys just catching balls wide open in the middle of the field, missing tackles and this and that. Tackle. First guy, tackle. Don't let them get behind you. Keep them in front of you. Tackle. And that's what they did against the Vikings, all right? And what Matt LaFleur did with this defense, with this team, with all the injuries, Matt LaFleur definitely deserves coach of the year. I know a lot of people say it doesn't matter. We have bigger goals, a Super Bowl. Yes, I understand that. But Matt LaFleur deserves, like, if you deserve what you deserve. There's an award called Coach of the Year. He did an outstanding job. Yeah, there's other guys who did a great job too. But Matt LaFleur, with all the injuries, getting blown up. First week of the season, everyone says, oh, the Packers, they're talking about, all this and that, how great they are. And look at them. They just got blown up by the Saints. And then to come back from that, in injuries every single week, it seems like, still come out. Best record in the NFL. And so Matt LaFleur, you deserve what you deserve. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is MVP. Tom Brady's got some good numbers too. I really don't care. I mean, I hope Aaron Rodgers wins MVP, but I think he should. I think he's the most valuable player to his team. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but that's what the award is. People say, well, without Aaron Rodgers, you'd be trapped. Well, then he's the most valuable player then. I think every team, though. People talk about that. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, well, if Tom Brady wasn't there, we saw what the Bucs were without Tom Brady. You take the starting quarterback off, team gets worse. Even the Vikings, they went from trash to holy crap trash without Kirk Cousins. So, like, that's just what it is. Any football team is not as good without their starting quarterback. Anyways, today, I'm going to move it along, people. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to drink some beer tonight and play some Madden. I'm going to try to figure out how to stream Madden. I'm off tomorrow, you know what I mean? I think it'd be a good time just to drink some beer, stream some Madden, But I got to figure this thing out because I'm not real smart with the technology stuff, you know what I mean? But I thought it was interesting today on Pat McAfee's show. Aaron Rodgers talked about the culture of Wisconsin. He said, I tell these young guys, to tell the young quarterbacks and the young players, you got to embrace the Wisconsin culture. People say, hey, man, Wisconsin ain't got no culture. You are wrong if you say that. He said, yeah, I forget the exact list. I should have it up here, but I don't have it up here. But he said, he's like, I was telling me, he goes, you got to go to a fish fry. All right, that was one of them on a Friday night, That's the most Wisconsin thing that you can do. So you got to go to a supper club. When I was a kid, man, we went to supper clubs all the time. It's different from a fish fry. It's a different situation. At least in my family, it was. Supper club, we go there. We have some chicken. Nice little like family supper club thing. It was supper club's like a different vibe. I haven't been to one in forever. There's not as many around, I don't think. At least not where I'm at right now. But when I was a kid, that I have memories of just going to supper clubs, hanging out. My mom, my stepdad out there drinking beer at the bar. The kids are over here screwing around, like knocking stuff over. Like there's nothing to do there for kids, so we just causing a havoc. The bartender's like, "Watch your kids, lady." You know what I mean? All right, so he said, fish fry supper club. Go to Door County. Absolutely, AJ Dillon, everyone talks about Door County, but Door County is an absolutely amazing place. I've always said like if I won the lottery, if I won like $300 million, like people are like, what would you do if you won $300 million? Would you move to LA? No. I'd move to Door County. I'd buy a big, huge piece of land. I've always said this, and I'd plop myself in the middle of it so nobody can talk to me if I don't want to talk to people, and live out my days just being filthy rich. You know what I mean? Uh, he said the next one. He said go ice fishing. Ice fishing. I don't know. It's obviously a Wisconsin thing, but I think it's the whole everywhere that's cold. I think it's a thing. Obviously like Canada. I think all around Wisconsin. Even Minnesota. I assume all the cold states over here in the Midwest do some ice fishing. But man, ice fishing isn't for me, people. Ice fishing is not for me. I used to go ice fishing, but I didn't ice fish. You know what I mean? I'm not a huge fishing. I'm not a huge fisherman. You know what I mean? But I like the vibe. The ice fishing. You go out there, you drink some beers. You know what I mean? They have you cut the hole in the ice, to fish through and get the fish out of. You can also stick beers in there to keep your beers cold. All right, that is one thing I learned early on. But I remember like I went ice fishing with my father-in-law way back when. All the guys, you know what I mean? And I remember like the ice cracks, you know what I mean? Like it just cracks. So if you don't know that, like you're just an idiot like me, you don't know. It sounds like, man, this might, I might die today, right? And they were like, so I was out there like, oh man, this is messed up. And then they're like, oh, trying to act scared. So you've tweaking me out even more. Like, what? And then they're like, no, it's fine, bro. Don't be an idiot. All right. We wouldn't be out here if all this wasn't happening. We're all driving trucks out here. Obviously, it's safe for your fat ass to walk around. You know what I mean? But then one day we went ice fishing out there, and this truck was driving towards us. Right, we're all setting up the ice fish and stuff, and then everyone's like yelling at him, like, "Hey, don't be on the ice!" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, guys. You guys are acting like whatever." And they're like, "Do you see any other trucks? The ice is too thin for trucks." I was like, "Ah!" But yeah, so that was the last time I went ice fishing. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to die in the ice, dude. That is a horrible situation to fall through the ice. Everyone's fell through the ice or seen someone fall through the ice at some point. Usually shallow, hopefully. Not a death situation. But ice fishing, it's a good time. Hang out with the dudes, drink some beers. But I'm not a big fan of the whole crackling ice. Very cold. You know what I mean? It tends to be on ice. Uh, but yeah. So what else did he say? He said ice fishing. He said, oh yeah, Bay Beach. He said Bay Beach, you got to go on the roller coaster over at Bay. I've been going to Bay Beach since I was a kid, like for like as far long as I can remember. The Bay Beach roller coaster is somewhat new. It's not new, but it seems new to me because it wasn't there when I was a kid. But I don't know how long it's been there. It's called the Zip and Pippin over at Bay Beach in Green Bay, and it's I think it was Elvis Presley's roller coaster like way back when. Which first of all, I don't want no old roller coaster like that. I'm not a roller coaster guy. I'm kind of a pansy. It's wooden. I went on it because my kids way back when they were young, little kids, they're like, "Hey, Dad, I want to go on the roller coaster." Like I'm scared to death of roller coasters. I don't play at roller coasters like that. But you can't tell your kid that. You know what I mean? Like I ain't scared of nothing, bro. Come on, boys, let's get on this roller coaster real quick one time. And I was scared to death. And they're like all like, "Yeah!" Like nothing for them. All I hear is clank, 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 and it's wood. So I'm like, dude, this could snap it anymore. Plus, it's old. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna go on a long, long road trip, like travel across America, you don't want some old car. You know what I mean? Some old beater that like your stepdad or your parents had when you were two. No, you want something reliable that's gonna get you cross country so the thing don't break down. So you're not stuck on the side of the highway somewhere. That's how I want my roller coasters. I don't want some old ass roller coaster made of wood. I want a steel roller coaster. I want something with some structure. I don't want some wooden thing. I'm sure it's safe. Doesn't look like it. Didn't feel like it. That'll clink, 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 clink. They're like, "Hey, can we go again?" Like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I hurt my back. I can't do it. But yeah. So, but he's right. Bay Beach is a great spot. I used to go there a lot when I was a kid. There's a lot of rides. They got anybody who's been to Bay Beach knows like it has all the rides everyone else has. Uh, it's a good time though. It's a good place to bring the family and to go as a kid. And I forget what else he said, but I thought it was very cool. Aaron Rodgers talking about the Wisconsin culture. He was saying like you got to embrace it. He's like tell all the players just to go around and do all the things in Wisconsin. And it's weird to me. Like I can't imagine Aaron Rodgers just rolling up to Bay Beach. Like I'm sure he did. He knows about it. Like at some point, I'm down. He's doing it at this point in his career, but maybe because I've heard a lot of stories. People seeing Aaron Rodgers at like Barnes and Noble's bookstore. You know, you mentioned on the Pat McAfee show way back when. But obviously, players need stuff. But I've seen a lot of players around town in Green Bay. I've never seen Aaron Rodgers. I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool. All right, before we get out of this thing, I want to talk about one little thing. Talk about one little thing, which I don't like talking about, but I got to talk about it because I got some opinions on it. All right, Greg Jennings did an article with Sports Illustrated. I know what you're thinking. Some of you are probably turning it off because you're sick of hearing about this. I'm gonna keep it short and I'm gonna keep it sweet. But Greg, Sports Illustrated said, well, Greg Jennings opens up on his relationship with Aaron Rodgers. He opens up, says you had to pry it out of him. It's been so long. I haven't talked about it, but now I have to open up. No, he doesn't shut up about it. And it's true because he says, oh, I haven't even, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't read the article. All right. So I'm not gonna act like I read the article because I'm not clicking on this trash article. People need to stop reading when Greg Jennings talks and writes an article. Someone writes an article, stop reading it. Do not click on the article. This is how it'll end. But he said, oh, we don't text and we don't talk anymore. Who cares, bro? Like, that's adult life. People have jobs, right? And you leave that job or whatever. You leave the job or a friend of yours leaves the job and you still work there. 10 years, you fall out of touch. You don't talk anymore. It happens, bro. Grow up. You sound like a disgruntled girlfriend or, like you're dating someone and we don't even talk. Get over it, bro. I know people 10 years ago that I used to talk to all the time. I don't have no communication with them now. That's just life. People grow apart. And the fact that you trashed Aaron Rodgers, trashed the Packers every chance you get, use Aaron Rodgers to try to propel your career. And now you want to talk about, oh, we don't talk. We have no crap. You don't talk. You trashed him on the TV all the time. Only time you ever seen Greg Jennings is when he was talking about Aaron Rodgers. They just use him like Aaron Rodgers' little inside scoop. Same thing with Finley. It's like, why are you shocked, bro? You run your mouth about someone, then act surprised that they don't want to return your call and they don't want to talk to you. Just move on, bro. Do your TV stuff, do your thing, whatever you're going to do, and just stop talking. People are like, well, he was just asked a question. What was he supposed to say? Here's what I would say. I'm going to answer that question because, if people run into people, you haven't seen in a long time, your friend Gary, haven't seen Gary in like 5-6 years. You're over at Walmart, looking at some crap you can't afford, looking at the 70-inch TV, like, someday I'm going to get that thing. Gary's over there doing the same thing. Like, hey, Matt, how you doing, bud? Haven't seen you in 5-6 years? I say, yeah, Gary, it's been a long time. And then we start talking, reminiscing about the old times a little bit, getting in people's way who were actually trying to shop. And then he says, hey, whatever happened to Bill? I haven't seen Bill in a long time. I say, hey, I haven't talked to Bill in a long time either. That's it. That's what you say when you don't talk to someone. You don't have to give an opinion like, oh, I don't know, it makes me sad that we don't talk anymore. I don't talk to him no more. No hate, no love. It just doesn't happen. We just don't talk. We lost communication, drifted apart maybe. You don't have to be a big thing about it. Don't be a pansy, Greg Jennings. But I appreciate everyone who tuned in for the game, though. The game streams are awesome. And I want to start, I think this month, I'm going to start bringing people on. If you are a supporter on Patreon, if you go to patreon.com/Matt Ramage, you can become a Patreon member. Or if you go to Facebook, go to my Facebook page, you can become a supporter there. And I'm going to start bringing on people, my supporters, onto live shows like that I do during the week. Even in the off season, I'm going to keep these things going. So I'm going to bring people on. We'll just bull crap. I can get like 10 people in this thing at a time. I'll probably limit it a little bit less than that at a time, just so that people aren't talking all over each other. But we're going to have a good time. You know what I mean? You don't have to do it. If you don't want to be a supporter, you don't want to be on Patreon, you don't want to do the Facebook thing, that's fine. But if that's just one of the little perks, I'm going to try to think of some other perks too. Maybe once I get more merch out there, I'll start getting discounts and whatnot. You know what I mean? But I appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate everyone listening to the podcast. I appreciate everyone watching the stream, doing all the things, liking, sharing, commenting on all my stuff. The interaction is fun. Without the good people out there in the internet land, I'm just over here talking to myself. So I appreciate you, people. Go Pack, go. And we'll see you next